Today we're talking about a roller coaster at a park very near and dear to my heart. This is the Hurler at King's Dominion. While I may not have been fond of the Hurler, I am fond of King's Dominion. And so I think it caught everyone off guard when in 2016 the coaster was closed the entire year. Did not reopen once, and we didn't hear at all the reason for it. We were told that it was going to reopen in 2017, but it appears that will not actually be the case because in a surprise turn of events, a gravestone has appeared at King's Dominion with the name Hurler on it, saying the last time it was open was 2015. That means if you rode it in 2015, that was the last time you were ever going to ride it, and that goes for me too. Which I think that this is a bit surprising, and here's why. First things first, this will have meant that they will have removed 2 roller coasters in 2015, and they will have removed more roller coasters in the past decade than they will have added roller coasters. They added 1 new coaster and removed 2. And the other one, Shockwave, we had a whole funeral for. We had an announcement when it was going to close. We knew when we could get our last rides in, but Hurler just closed randomly, and that was it. And I have a theory for why that might be, but before I continue, I do want to emphasize that there are going to be some skeptics out there who are saying, well, are you sure that that photo is real? Yes, it is. While I've not seen it in person, I have to credit Katie Golden Years for taking this photo, and I have seen multiple photos of this gravestone. It is not photoshopped. So this is a real thing. Like, guys, this is it. Hurler's never going to reopen. Now, why it took so long for us to find out that King's Domain didn't plan on reopening it is something else. And why are we just now seeing the grave halfway through Haunt? And my theory for that is that it may be because even the King's Dominion staff didn't know what they were going to do with it. Is it possible that the decision to close Hurler for the 2016 season was a last minute thing and they are trying to decide all this season what they were going to do with it, and they only recently made up their minds, and so that is why we're just now seeing a gravestone? And that might also explain why they wouldn't answer any questions on what was going to happen with Hurler. So that's my theory on why we hadn't heard anything. They were probably so busy working with the closure of Shockwave that Hurler took a back seat. And also, even though neither one of them were really liked by people, Hurler was definitely the more disliked of the two. I think I've only heard from one person who's actually sad that Hurler's not going to reopen, and that includes me. I'm not sad that Hurler's not going to reopen because I think that it's going to be for the best. The only thing I am sad about is I would have liked to know that my last ride was actually going to be my final ride. I don't even remember my last ride, frankly. I remember my last ride of Shockwave, but I don't remember the last time I rode Hurler. It was sometime in 2015. But let's talk about the future of Hurler. Obviously, something's going to happen, and I don't think they're just going to demolish it. Could they just be demolishing it? Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of land back there, so that would open up a lot of space. But here's what makes me think that's not going to be the case. There are some orange markings spread throughout the entire structure of Hurler on many of the footers. So it's not just in one certain area, it's throughout the entire ride. So no, it's not going to be an inspection thing, or maybe some people would say, well, maybe that's just marking the old wood that's going to be replaced with some newer wood. No, that's not what's going to happen. There's too much of that. This is laced throughout the entire layout. And generally, those markings mean that that part that is marked is going to be removed. So some of you are thinking, okay, well, is there any evidence to back this up? Yes, there is. Mean Streak. Where have we seen this before? I saw it for myself earlier this year with Mean Streak, and what happened there? They closed down the ride and started removing the wood that was marked. And if they would do it to Mean Streak, why wouldn't they do it to Hurler? Sure, it's smaller, but some of these RMCs don't need to be super tall rides. I could easily envision this thing with a Storm Chaser type layout. Obviously, they'd have to accommodate the current structure of Hurler, but I think it is super doable. And let me just emphasize, I was not on the RMC Hurler bandwagon for a while. Even when there was the really more coming slide at the end of their announcement, I was thinking, guys, that doesn't mean anything, and RMC isn't going to be coming to King's Dominion, that's stupid. But I'm starting to think that maybe that really more coming slide was actually there for a reason. And obviously, there's going to be some of you that are saying, well, duh, I've been saying that for ages. Well, I'm sorry, I'm a skeptic. So I'm not going to spend any of this video talking about possible layouts for what we could be seeing with an RMC Hurler, but I do want to emphasize how we will know if it's going to become an RMC or not. At this point, Kings Dominion hasn't made an announcement, so why would they start now? I don't think we're going to see a Hurler announcement anytime for the rest of this year. Here's my prediction for what is going to happen. When Haunt ends, cranes will show up and they will start taking apart part of Hurler. They'll go through the construction phase of dismantling all of the track, but leaving some of the wood structure there. Then we will come around to opening day of 2017 and there will be a work wall with some sort of teaser, much like what we saw with Kings Island's Mystic Timbers or Valraven at Cedar Point. We'll see some teasers around Hurler, and then finally we will get an announcement sometime in the summer of 2017. And my guess is that this will open in 2018. I think we'll see 2 RMCs open in the Cedar Fair chain in 2018, Mean Streak and Hurler. So like I've said, I think 2018 is going to be a big year. And that goes for parks in general, not just Kings Dominion. But I think Kings Dominion in particular, we know 2018 is going to be a good year because when parks have a small year where they don't really add anything major, don't spend a lot of money, it's because they're saving up for the following year where something big is coming. 2017 at Kings Dominion is a Small Planet Snoopy expansion. And that's probably because 2018 is going to be a Hurler focus. And even if it ends up being false and Kings Dominion has just been trolling us this entire time, I still think 2018 is going to be something roller coaster related. So just be patient, guys. Something good is coming. Or in this case, I think there's really more coming. So let me know about what you think of all of this. Post all those thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, make sure to stay tuned for more rumor and news videos. You can find them all here at Coaster Studios. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you guys later.